Hello, my name is Jake Palmer, and I'm here today to talk to you about the growing problem within the public educational system in the inner cities. Ever since the desegregation of schools in 1964, half of African Americans in the United States have continued to receive an education that lacks care, resources, and leadership. The lack of concern has allowed for systematic racism in which African Americans are put at a disadvantage and has created a never-ending cycle that produces crime, high dropout rates, lack of money, and inequality. Pearl Arredondo talks on her experience with the system and how she got where she was today. The question is, how was she able to overcome the system that has failed so many, and what could potentially be the solution to all of it? Now, before I talk to you about Pearl Arredondo's experience, I would love to talk to you about some glaring statistics that show how big of a problem this is. The first refers to how this problem affects the African American population far more than the white population, as half of all African Americans attend inner city schools while only 20% of white people attend them. The second talks about poverty rates and how they are directly connected to education. Black poverty rates are 2 to 3 times higher than white poverty rates. The more poverty a city has, the worse the educational system is. The third statistic is how crime is very apparent in the inner cities and how this causes a lot of students to miss school because it can be unsafe for them to walk to school. This results in 1 in every 7 students in the inner city missing 15 days or more. Pearl Arredondo told a story, one that truly stuck with me. Pearl was a little girl in the inner city without parents to look up to. There were days when she was worried whether she was going to see her father again, let alone worrying about doing her homework. Since she didn't have anyone to look up to at home, she looked at her teachers for support. However, no support was shown. She was pushed away, and society had marked her as a lost cause. Instead of giving up, she attended a school an hour and a half away that provided her with an education that gave her a future. Today, she works towards providing a strong education for every kid out there, no matter where they live. She believes the solution to the inner city educational system lies within the contract for teachers, resources, and commute. She believes that teachers should be allowed to do a 1-year contract, and at the end of their year of work, if they did well, they will be asked to resign. There needs to be teachers that will provide leadership and support, something she never had. Secondly, she talks about the lack of funding the inner city school systems have, and that it is important for politicians to realize this problem and begin properly funding the inner city schools, which would allow them to have better resources. Finally, she believes no kid should have to drive an hour to get to school, that every kid, no matter where they are, has a great school in their backyard. As you can see from personal experience to straightforward facts, the inner city public educational system needs work. I ask of you today to think of how your life may have been different if you had the educational system that you were given. For some of you, it may have been better, but for a lot of you, I would take a guess saying it would have been worse. Every day is another day that goes by where these kids are discriminated against instead for a system in which they are bound to fail. Today, let's make a difference. Let us volunteer, rise to a position of power, let us make a change. Because together, we can give everyone the fair shot they deserve. I'm Jake Palmer, and I hope you enjoy this talk. Have a great day.